Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Man.
Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
No, I'm not frozen. I am not frozen tonight, Joe. You are muted because I always like to mute you in the beginning. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Boulevard Bullies Presents Here Comes the Lame. Joe, is it Boulevard Bullies Presents or is it Boulevard Bullies Present?
Presents.
Presents.
Yeah.
How are you? I see that you're not wearing your Phillies gear. You must be recovering from your heartbreaking and dreadful loss.
We switched bandwagons.
You just immediately put the Phillies.
Just like
you just put the Phillies gear all away. All of it's already in a box. You put it in the deepest reaches of like your storage that you could possibly find because you were just
or
so
in the
upset.
trash. I think I need a new one. I think I need a new hat.
I mean,
I'll get like one like this, like a tougher snapback, because that was like kind of like a trucker kind of mesh. That also got stepped on by a GCW fan. Remember, it was thrown by Mance Warner and then stepped on and bled on and boozed on and
these motherfuckers.
pissed on.
That's probably what stopped the Phillies.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something, Joe. I was rooting for the Phillies because
America's team.
The last four teams, right? The Phillies, the Phillies have Zach Wheeler, but like I'm kind of over Zach Wheeler. He's an X. I don't care. But the Diamondbacks have Tommy Pham, who I fucking hate. The Texas Rangers have Max Scherzer and DeGrom, who I hate. And the Astros have Verlander, who I hate. So I was rooting for the Phillies.
Yeah, America's team. And I hate Tommy Pham too. And I mean, the Phillies continue to lose to some random player who gets like hot randomly. Was the
random player Tommy Pham in this series?
No, what happened was they got cold. And there were some management mistakes with the whole Kimbrel and both of those games, bringing him in and blowing both games.
But what are you going to do? You got to bring in Kimbrel.
He's not like he used to be, though.
But he's the closer.
He's not the closer. There is no defined role.
That's another reason the bullpen's kind of messed up. Save in the regular season? 30?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Then he's 30. The closer.
Yeah. There was no defined role for anyone in the bullpen, really. It wasn't like how it used to be. You know, like this guy is the long man. This guy's the setup. This guy's the closer. You know, how it used to be in like the, 08 through 2012 years.
Right.
You know, there's no defined role. But that's how Thompson manages, though, So it's not.
So whose fault was it, Joe? Whose fault was it?
Probably the player that said they were going to jump in the Diamondbacks pool.
Oh, bulletin board material.
Yeah, Garrett Stubbs, the backup catcher.
So they were going back
to party animal.
They were going back to Arizona for games 6 and 7. No, because game 7 was in Philly.
They were going back to Philly for game 6 and 7.
So
they were already saying no. They had said the pool thing when they went there for game 3. That was
huge mistake, big mistake.
So and then they proceeded to lose the next 2 games. We're only getting runs in on fielding errors and wild pitches, and
didn't the Diamondbacks rally behind Mad Dog Russo saying that they were terrible?
I saw that yesterday. He's like, if they lose, I will. I swear, I will. The next day, I will retire.
No, he came off of that though. He's not going to retire. He's not going to go to his son's graduation or something. So he's not going to retire, but he's just going to
start way too hot.
Yeah, he went a little. But I feel like I saw a video where the Diamondbacks were chanting like, "Fuck Mad Dog." Fuck, man. Like they won, like when they won the championship series, I feel like they were like chanting "Fuck Mad Dog."
I don't think they're Diamondback fans.
They're so dumb. The Diamondbacks are such like a West Coast small market team that they just thought that Mad Dog Russo, who's like a New York shock jock, they just like equated him with Philly. Like, oh, this Philly.
Yeah, they thought he was
jock.
like, yeah.
This fucking Phillies fan is so fuck Mad Dog. Yeah, and it's like,
There's
yo,
no
he's not even
affiliation
a
with the
Phillies
Phillies.
fan, dude. Like,
He doesn't have affiliation with New York. He's on MLB Network now, right?
right? He's on like XM and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's on Sirius XM. Yeah, he's not even on. He doesn't have Mike and the Mad Dog anymore. It's
So
been around forever.
earlier in the Phillies playoff run, I think during the wild card game, you were telling us a story about how somebody struck out with like second and third and 2 out, and you threw your hat and ran down and jumped into your bed like a teenage girl. So I want you to walk me through what you did when the final out was cast in the Phillies game.
So I think when the 9th inning started, I just got the remote ready.
Oh, you were already ready.
Yeah, and it was like this is the remote, and I got it here, and then it pop fly to Corbin Carroll, and it just goes, and I go bonk, and just walked downstairs and said nothing.
Just calmly. You were so full, like before, you were so full of emotion that you ran down and like dove into your pillow.
Yeah, I gave up in game 6.
Right. So you were already checked out. You just calmly checked out. You calmly checked out.
The writing
and
was
walked
on the
outside.
wall. I mean, if they would somehow get back, you have another game, right? But I'm like, this is Philly sports. Here we go.
I mean, if I was
Not gonna all of a sudden just wake up.
I feel like you're.
I heard I heard this on the because I listen to sports radio all day here, and I heard they had to walk past all the champagne and everything that was all like loaded up already.
Right, and
before the game, they are looking at the champagne.
Right.
So they said that's what messed them up.
Oh, come on.
No, the players didn't say that. That's what the radio and other people are like.
Have you seen the video of the Philadelphia Eagles players at the Philadelphia Phillies playoff game?
Yeah, they were both like Castellanos went to the Eagles game, and then DeAndre Swift and somebody else went to the
Swift
Phillies
and
game.
Somebody and like it's like they never.
And then all the Eagles, then a whole bunch of the Eagles, like Jason Kelsey and like Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown, like who even newly acquired Julio Jones, even all went. Julio Jones is probably like, oh shit, I just got picked up and I'm already at.
Yeah, here I am sitting eating shrimp at the Phillies game.
And cheesesteaks, yeah.
I loved watching DeAndre Swift and whoever the defensive player was. Like they'd never seen baseball before.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm gonna come back to this.
It's like, and
well,
so
they ain't gonna come back nothing in Philly. I'll tell you that much.
It's just so dope to watch like a guy, because DeAndre Swift is he's a beast. He's like a specimen dog athlete.
He's young as hell.
And so to watch like football players, because football's like more visceral. There's like less planning.
Yeah.
And to watch them like appreciate baseball, that like warmed my heart. Like watching that video brought a smile to my face.
Yeah, they were talking about like, oh, they gotta change pitchers every other few innings and stuff. They don't even go the whole time.
Well, that's the problem. You just said it's like they don't have a defined role. If they had a defined role, DeAndre Swift could have understood what was happening. But he was
it isn't
confused.
like the quarter. It isn't like Jalen Hurts who stays in the whole game. Yo,
Jalen Hurts is another one who's a dog. He's so dope. Did you see the game? What game was it? Where some fucking team, was it the Vikings with Kirk Cousins? They tried to do the brotherly shove, the tush push.
Oh, they didn't. They tried to do it on Monday this week.
Yeah,
It was
on Monday,
or was it Thursday?
Well, the first time they tried to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yesterday was Bills and Bucks, so it must have been Monday with Vikings.
It was Monday,
and
Vikings 49ers, and they were on the 2nd and goal, and they tried it twice. The first time, one of the linebackers for 49ers like vaulted over and like speared.
Yeah, they've tried that with the Eagles too. Like, what is that going to do? You're underneath the dog pile.
The thing is that Jalen Hurts fucking squats 600 pounds, and him and Kelsey get so low, it's like unstoppable. You know?
So what are the exact physics of this move?
I have no idea.
Go so low, and then all the other linebackers kind of cover you, so it's kind of like the movie 300.
I think it's almost like Kelsey almost keeps the ball in a way. Like it's like there's some kind of slick trick to it. Like I feel like Jalen Hurts goes like under Kelsey's legs or something.
Oh yeah, because that's allowed as a snap, right? You don't have to like shoot the ball like a snap. It can just be like handed, kind of
as long as it's touching. Yeah. But yeah, the Vikings tried to do it.
Because he lines up like he's like,
Yo, and you know what? If you've ever noticed, you're a Philly sports fan. And I love Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts is my fantasy quarterback. So I'm like, I might as well be a Philadelphia Eagles fan this year. Yeah. And dude, when he's in shotgun, nobody squats lower than him. to get this ball. He's in athletic stance the whole game, dude.
He's
Those
been throwing a lot
quads
of
are
picks
burning.
this year. He's been throwing a lot of picks though.
He has, but you know what? Everyone's kind of shitting on the Eagles, like, oh, Jalen Hurts. At this time last year, like, so right now he has 8 interceptions halfway through the season, and last year as a total he threw 6. But yo, I'm okay with that. He's pushing the ball down the field, dude. Eagles.
Yeah, I mean they
Eagles
look really good against the Dolphins.
Eagles look good, and you know, NFC Championship game. There's no reason the Eagles can't beat the 49ers. And I'd rather be an Eagles fan right now with like the slow burn figuring out as the season progresses rather than the Niners who were like so good right away. Now they got to deal with like injuries and stamina and touches and shit like that.
The Dolphins too, yeah.
Yeah, Dolphins were so like a good team don't fall off. A good team like grows from within as the season goes on. It's you know, listen, they say that baseball is a marathon, not a sprint. But even football is a marathon in a way, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, have you ever seen Knock at the Cabin, Joe?
With
With Dave Bautista?
It's on my, I don't know if it's Knock at the Cabin or something with the cabin or Cabin in the Woods.
Well, Cabin in the Woods
That's
is
on
great.
my list. But Knock at the Cabin is on my list too. But I didn't get to it this week.
No, Cabin in the Woods is great. Knock at the Cabin is terrible. Take it off your list. Take it off.
Okay.
Yeah, just take it off right now.
As for the rest of the week with the
tell
horror,
me about your October horror movie extravaganza that you've been having.
I watched Freddy versus. I watched Freddy versus Jason. That I had seen in the theaters before. You seen that? Or you got to pull up the movies on Rotten Tomatoes?
Do you want me to? I'm going to right now. Hold on. Let's get.
I think for Freddy versus Jason still holds up. I think I give it like at least an 8 out of 10.
Now, is that technically Jason 10? Or no, Jason 10 is in outer space. Freddy.
Yeah, Jason X is in outer space.
Freddy vs. Jason, 2003.
I saw it in theaters, and it's probably the first time since it was in theaters I've seen it, and it definitely still holds up.
All right, so
it holds up because Robert Englund.
Now, do you want to go off of the tomato meter or the audience score?
You can give me both, but I'm the audience, so I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
All right, so as the audience, I want you to try to guess the audience score.
I would think it's like 85%.
50.
Audience 50?
Yeah.
No way. What do the critics give it?
Critics give it 42.
Wow. It was certified rotten.
I feel like this entire month of October, Joe, you have had a pattern of giving the bad movies higher scores and the good movies poorer scores.
We'll get there. But anyway, Robert Englund was
Didn't we talk about you watching Cabin in the Woods?
No. I haven't watched it.
You've never seen Cabin in the Woods.
I'll watch that for next week. We got one more week.
Top of the list, Joe.
That'll be next. Top of the list. I watched every Saw film.
Every single one.
All 10. All 10.
Stop it.
Yeah.
This week you did all that?
And I also have 2 other movies on the list.
You know what it is, Joe? He was so upset about the Phillies. He just wanted to see some like.
Yeah, what was I watching? If there's so fucking.
You just wanted to see some like mutilation.
Yeah.
Yeah. You photoshopped Diamondbacks hats onto every character in the films.
Did you see those? That guy that posted a video of him playing MLB The Show, and he's like, "Gotta get something off my chest," and it's like. Astros 80, Rangers 0. And it was like Phillies 72, Diamondbacks 0.
Did you see that?
He's like breathing.
Did you see that Randy Johnson was front row for the Diamondbacks game and he like gave the pitcher like a tip about his slider from the stands?
No, I didn't.
Dude, there is a photograph of the guy like walking into the dugout. And Randy Johnson, famous Diamondbacks pitcher.
Of course, yeah.
Former Yankee.
He's not a Yankee.
And he's like the guy's like 7 feet tall, right? So like if he wanted to like show you something on a baseball, he could reach over the entire dugout, So and he's like showing his fingers. He's like, "Oh, do it like this. Do it like this."
Yeah.
Can you imagine sitting front row and being like, "Hey, come over here, brother"? What a tool.
But yeah, have you seen all the Saw films?
Oh my God. I have seen definitely 1 through 4. I definitely saw the one that was like that was about like the healthcare system in America. You know, the one that was like, I wouldn't have been this evil if there was good healthcare in America. Have you seen that? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, but I watched them all, so they all kind of like
Maybe like
together.
Saw 5 is the one where he's wearing the backwards hat and he's like, if only we had good health insurance, I wouldn't have gone down this path.
I can't believe this is like this. Yeah.
My wife
I
died.
love
If we
John
lived
Kramer.
in Canada.
I love Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I love John Kramer.
Who's
Um,
John Kramer, the guy, the actor from that?
Jigsaw, the old crusty white dude. He's amazing. Well, the new one is I think my favorite because
We're getting a chat from Brian says Knock at the Cabin is a thought-provoking chiller, upper tier Shyamalan. Get fucked, dude. You couldn't be more wrong. You could
Damn.
not be more wrong. I'm sorry. Hey, have you ever seen Mind Hunters on Netflix?
yeah.
So the guy from
Wait, no, that's on HBO, ain't it?
No, Mindhunters is on Netflix. It's the dramatic show directed by David Fincher of Fight Club fame, who and it's about like 2 FBI agents who go around and like interview serial killers from like the 60s.
What was the show on HBO I was thinking of?
About what? About serial killer detectives?
Oh, I was thinking True Detective
Oh, True Detective is great. Season 1 is great. Season 2,
with
terrible.
Willie Nelson, right?
Yeah, with Willie Nelson.
Yeah, the Mine Hunters is with the 2 unknown guys that go for like 2 or 3 seasons.
So, and they talk to all the famous like murderers of the 60s and 70s. So anyway, the guy from Mindhunter, the main character, who's very, very good in that show, he's in Knock at the Cabin as well, alongside Dave Bautista.
Okay. Yeah, that's on my list next. I gotta. Is it on digital?
Oh, I'm sure it's out there.
Okay.
I remember it was on Peacock for free because it's such trash that before it was even out of theaters, it was free on Peacock. That's how bad that movie was.
Keeping with the Lionsgate theme, I watched My Bloody Valentine. You seen that?
No, I don't. I know that there's a band called
Bullet for My Valentine. Isn't it that's definitely an emo band, right?
That's not full emo. It's like emo core at the very least.
It's just about some town that has an accident in a mine. They think all these miners die because of this accident, but it turns out they were murdered by like a psycho miner. And then then the miner just comes back and starts killing people. It was good. It's the kind of the opposite of Saw, where it's gore, it's like their slasher one, opposed to where Saw is like gory, like methodical, kind of do it to yourself stuff.
So you watched all of Saw. You watched 10 Saw films, and then you have 2 more films that you watch.
I watched Trick or Treat.
You were in your feelings after the Phillies, weren't you?
Yeah.
Were.
Trick or Treat.
Is Trick or Treat the movie that has Art the Clown in it before Terrifier?
Yeah. I don't know if Art the Clown was in it, but it definitely
it's the same
had
people though, I think.
Is it because it was like a comic book vibe that kept going like backwards, like it kept jumping around in the timeline. But yeah, it's like a very clowny, campy. There's like a pumpkin head little midget kid.
I feel like there is a movie before Terrifier that has Art the Clown. But if you're saying it's not, hey, what are your thoughts? Oh
yeah. No. Look, it's because they just announced the next Terrifier,
which will be a Christmas film.
So there's those 3, and then there's one before that,
right? That has him in it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's Trick or Treat. It's something else that's available on Prime Video, but you have to pay. So I just didn't.
You know what I really want to watch? Talk to Me. Have you heard about this? Talk to Me is an A24 horror film. So imagine. So I'm probably gonna botch this, but the setup, from as far as I could surmise from the trailer, is that a bunch of like high school seniors find like a haunted dead hand. and they realize that like if you touch the hand, your like eyes roll in the back of your head, and you go black, and you go to like a place, right? And they use that to do like TikTok videos. But then something goes amiss.
Yeah, All Hallows Eve, it's called. Yeah, that's
All Hallows Eve. Okay, dope. Yeah, so that wasn't. Yeah, Terrifier Christmas is gonna be the third one apparently.
Yeah.
Yo, I did a photo shoot on Sunday. I did like I worked for like the township taking photos. And so it was like a family fun day where you could like decorate your pumpkins, and it was like free for the townspeople. And there was like an 8-year-old kid who dressed as Art the Clown. And I was like wondering, like, does this kid know what he is? Like, did his parents just like make him? Like, did he see it and not know? Yeah, it was like kind of like. Yo, and you turn around, see an 8-year-old kid dressed like Art the Clown. It's kind of chilling, kind of bone chilling, honestly.
Oh man. And then last one was Renfield.
Oh, Renfield. So we were talking about this last week. How did you feel about Renfield?
Renfield was good. I liked it.
It was kind of like an action movie. It was kind of like an action movie.
It was more like a comedy action film.
Yeah, it was like almost like a Marvel movie ripoff type of thing, but like based off of that lore.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy who played Renfield, I don't think he did bad. It was just the material was like meh. But every time Nicolas Cage is on the screen as Dracula, it's like amazing.
Well, two of those people, two of the three. Well, Nicolas Cage hasn't been in a superhero film yet. Well, he's played Ghost Rider, and I guess Superman if you want to go that far. But the other guy, the Renfield character, the actor played Beast in the new X-Men films. And then the other girl
Clown is also in a movie called Ninth Circle. No, okay, so I thought I've seen Ninth Circle, but I've seen a movie called Ninth Ward. Which is
I've heard of that too.
Yeah, which is like it's just like a straight to DVD horror weird movie.
Yeah, Tubi. But yeah, definitely a lot of Disney influence in that too. Because another girl was also in Shang-Chi as an Asian girl.
It's not horror, but man, I've been in such a phenomenal mood lately, Joe. Because over the last 2 weeks, I have, through another person watching it for the first time, been able to experience Sopranos yet again. Probably for the 25th time in my life, beginning to end, Sopranos. And let me just tell you something. If y'all remember the first time you heard Meshuggah, and it was like, yo, aliens wrote this. Aliens wrote this music. That's the way that I personally feel about Sopranos. Alien beings wrote The Sopranos. And that's just the Boulevard Boys 10 out of 10 recommendation this week. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to watch that movie Talk to Me it's an A24. It's kind of like looks like it has a little bit of like a Hereditary vibes. I'm so into
I'll check it out.
Demonic possession shit. Like I'm so into that. You know what me and some coworkers were talking about.
You just made the list.
What?
You just made the list. I'll put it on the list.
You just made the list. Yeah, and take Knock at the Cabin off the list too. I mean, we love Batista on this program, but fuck that movie.
This is the final week for horror films too. Once November 1st hits,
we're done. We're in no shave November.
Yeah, it's fucking Christmas grind, I guess.
Brian says, "Talk to Me was good. You'll probably hate it." I do. You know what? But the thing is, I hate a lot of stuff, but I love movies. So like even the movies I hate, I love. Because I just love movies. I love thinking about movies. It's kind of like us in wrestling, It's like I love wrestling so much that it brings me joy to talk about how angry it makes me. Hey, I got to tell you a story. Before we get to wrestling, I got to tell you a story, Joe.
Okay.
All right. So, I've been playing bass since I was like 14 years old, okay? And I've never been a good bassist, Joe. Like I can't read sheet music. I can't watch you play the thing under the guitar. Like only now can I like hang with the greats, and like play some bass. So I practice in a studio with my band, And there are like 10 rooms in the studio. So there's a guy who, and we pay per hour, we pay per night. Like, 3 hours one night, you know what I'm saying? But this guy rents a room monthly, like $800 a month rents a room. And he pays musicians to practice with him. The guy's a singer-songwriter. If you could imagine Smash Mouth with no talent at all even, that is this band. So this guy says to me, hey, I'm going to pay you. This is why we canceled the show last night.
Oh, okay. This is interesting now.
Yeah, this is why we had to move to Friday, dude.
This is why we had to move to Friday this week. So,
and you remember I texted you. I said we might move to Friday permanently because I have a new gig playing 3 hours a night every Thursday, every week with this fucking Money Mark. It's so much like wrestling, Joe. That's why it's kind of funny because this guy is like the Chad Mins. He's the Mittens of. He's like sponsoring me to play with him. And the songs, Joe, are so bad. They're so bad. Like, and it's verse, chorus, bridge. But like none of those three things make sense. Like when we go from the verse to the chorus, the notes don't match up. It's bad. It's bad. It's very bad.
So it sounds like different songs. Like,
yeah, it's just
kind of
like,
jumping around.
I don't know. Like there's a key that you'd be in. So like when you go like when you're playing a certain key and then the chorus is just like you're going like we do and like chorus is just like now like bah. It's just bad. It's just bad, But I'm a professional. I'm learning this and I'm playing it. And Joe, I swear to God, dude, this motherfucking guy was standing there with his hands behind his back like this, watching me play and like making sure that I earned my $60. And like, over the course of a 3-hour practice, I had it about an hour in. So I was just like fucking around. I was going, do, wee, do. He said, don't do that. Don't do that. And I was like, oh, my bad. I'm just fucking around, And I got around, I got along with the other guys who were also paid musicians. But, man, there was something very Jimmy Lloyd about this guy, man.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? There was something extremely Jimmy Lloyd about him.
All right.
So I'm chilling. I'm playing. And, and I swear to God, dude, at one point he goes, if you heard the lyrics to this song, then you'll know. Because it goes like this. Verse 3, chorus 2. Verse 5, chorus 1. Bridge 5, chorus. So I'm like trying to piece it together. And I'm like, this is so bad and so complicated. I'm trying so hard to remember this. But this makes no sense. So he goes to me, well, when you hear the lyrics and you hear the story I'm telling,
you'll understand.
Then it'll just come to you. And and Joe, I looked him right in his eyes and I said, "You're absolutely right. I agree." And
You're
then
right,
I guess okay. So either the guy did so much cocaine and so much drugs, like when he was younger, that he is now this way, or he's like special and a little weird and just lies about having done all those things. But he's telling me this story and he's like, yeah, dude, you don't even know. I hung out with Jimmy Page, man, and me and Jimmy Page did cocaine and like.
Oh, he's definitely a Hulk Hogan.
I used to drink so many beers that I would go to the bathroom of a bar and I would bang a complete stranger with a condom on. And I went, with a condom? What a loser, dude.
Money Mark.
You're not as badass and with a condom. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of town, dude. You're not as badass as you think, my brother. Anyway, whatever. So I play this, and thank you for listening to my story, by the way. And everybody watching at home, thank you for listening to this. And so I play the songs, dude, and he's staring at me, so I nail it. So over the course of 3 hours, he goes and smokes like a bowl every 45 minutes. We take a break. So it's like easy money. you know?
Yeah.
And at the end, I'm like, originally he said Tuesdays and Thursdays. I said, listen, okay, I can't do Tuesdays, but I can move my Thursday pod to Friday, and I'll do Thursdays with you every Thursday, $60 a week. So then at the end of practice, he goes, can you do Friday? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? For another $60, I think I could tell Jedi Joe to fuck off, and I'll do I'll do Friday too. And he's like, all right, cool. What about Saturday? And I'm like, well, Ron, I mean, Saturday, that's for, like, what I can do for you is I can commit to Thursday. Every so often when I need the bread, I'll dip my toes into Friday. And, I've obviously proven that I'm like a dope bass player. So, like, I'll learn the songs, like, very easily. And I'll even work at home, off the clock. And he goes, well, if you can't commit to Saturday, you're fired. And I was like,
you're out of the band, brother.
I was like, wait a second, what do you mean? Like, you said Tuesday, Thursday. He goes, well, as soon as you learn all the songs, we're going on tour. And I was like, well, how many songs?
You're in the band.
How many songs are there? He goes, well, there are 10. And I was like, okay, so a song a week, that's 10 weeks. In 10 weeks, I'll commit to Saturday. And he goes, well, you're not working fast enough for me, brother. And I was like, okay, but Ron, like, who's going to book this tour? Like, if we're going to go on tour in, like, under 10 weeks, like, who's setting this up? Like, who's booking this?
You are.
He's like, I'm doing it. And I already got stuff in the works. Meanwhile, like, before the practice even started, I talked to the drummer, who also was just a guy getting paid. And he was like, oh, yeah, this guy Ron's never played a show. He's never played a show. And he's yelling at me about Saturday. And Joe, I try to evolve as a person. I try to be like a calm human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I could cut a hot fire promo on a motherfucker if I'm feeling a type of way. But I try to, like, Clark Kent that power. And this guy just kept yelling at me about Saturday.
He was yelling at you, or he was just like kind of like...
No, he was like yelling at me, dude. He was Jimmy Lloyding all over me. Oh, he's definitely, there's something going on. And so here's what I did. So the studio wall's right here. And Joe, I'm not proud to say, but I slapped the wall and I went, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And I was like, Ron, listen to me. I got more miles on my fucking body playing music, not even wrestling, playing music than you could even fucking hope to imagine. If you want to book a tour, maybe you shouldn't take 3 fucking weed breaks in the middle of your fucking shit. And dude, I know it was like a little bit of a low-hanging fruit. It was a little bit of a blood in the water type of thing, but I fucking ate. I ate on this guy. I fucking meow, 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 meow. So, but I have a plan. And I think it's going to be beneficial for the Boulevard Bullies brand. I think it's going to be beneficial for the Here Comes the Lame podcast. I think maybe I text him a lamenting message. Are you ready? Okay, so here you go. Here's me talking. Here's me talking to this guy. Hey, Ron, listen. First of all, let me tell you, I am so terribly sorry about the way that I spoke to you the other night. Sometimes when two artists are so passionate about something, they could butt heads,
Butt heads. Yeah.
And the thing is that, like, going into
creative differences.
Going into practice the other day, I was so excited about the product. Like, I really thought finally that I could be a part of something that I can believe in and actually make some money on. And then to see your excitement, I was taken aback. I didn't know how to act. And I'm sorry that I yelled at you, but, like, I just think that in order to get the band to where it needs to be within the next 8 weeks, not only should I be learning the songs, but I think there should be, social media marketing. There needs to be merchandise. There needs to be a logo. You know, we could shoot and produce music videos, and, you know, that needs to be a thing that gets promoted. And I just think that, like, after yelling at you, which, by the way, I'm very sorry about, I've been thinking about it, and I've been running some numbers. And I think that, like, lucky for you, I do all those things. Have you seen this Boulevard Bullies Instagram number? Have you seen this YouTube number? Like, Ron, I can do this for you. And I think I'm ready to commit to 4 days a week, 4 hours a day, 16 hours a week for the rate of no less than $100 an hour. And I think that if you pay me $1,600 a week, I can not only learn the songs, but I can work tirelessly to elevate this band, this project, and this brand to where you need to be. And if you need any proof about my conviction, just go ahead and look at my social media numbers, Ron. 3 million impressions. Ron, do you want 3 million people to possibly hear your song? Well, it takes more than just being super talented, which obviously I know you are. And I just think that if we sign this paper right here, here, and here, it's notarized. If we do this for 6 months, $1,600 a week for 6 months, half up front, I think I could finally bring your band and your brand to where it needs to be. And I'm sorry I yelled at you. But you got to understand, whether you're in the restaurant business or creative, that's what two very brilliant people do. They yell at each other, Ron. And you're brilliant. And I feel like I'm lucky to have this opportunity. And for that price, I think that we could really make it work. Did I convince you, Joe? Did I convince you? Did I give you a little tingle?
First off, very, very good story. Is that the end of the story?
That is the end of the... I just want you to know, I'll pound it home one more time. I fucking screamed in this guy's face.
That's good.
I had as much... Because the 3 hours of practice was $60, very hard earned. Like, this guy was not like a... Like, the other musicians were mad cool. And I got along with them. But, like, this guy was the worst. Worst. I was like, okay, I know it. I was like, okay, I know it.
The front man and singer?
Yeah, front man, singer. And, like, you know, I think about, like, songs I maybe wanted to try to write when I first picked up the bass. And these were all of the songs. You know, they made no sense, you know.
Yeah.
But we got along. Like, I was like the portrait of, like, perfect band member. You know, but, like, it was a tough 3 hours, dude, you know. And I just want to let you know that I went, shut the fuck up, and screamed.
I don't think he's gonna give you that much money, but like.
So what about 50 an hour? 800 a week. See, but honestly, Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I mean, he give you $1,000 flat a week, maybe 1,000
but that's what I'm saying. Like, based on this guy's needs and his, like, forgive me for saying retardation, 800 a week, I don't think is enough for me to, like, pretend to care. Like 12, maybe 12. Like, I could flush all my ego and preconceived notions for 12. I don't know if I could do it for 8.
Well, I hope you get something more, because it doesn't sound worth it for $60. And I hope you don't can the show because for $60. So, but I wouldn't.
You should see me, like, sweating.
$1,000. So,
like, you should see this guy, like, 6 inches away from my face watching my bass as I sweat and play his, like, nonsensical. There's no key. There's no logic. Like, you know, like in music, like, the next note is, like, you know what I mean? Based on the key, there's, like, you could narrow it down, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, there was no sense. There was no sense. There was no logic.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm sorry it didn't work out, but maybe it will. Wait, you haven't got back to him yet, right?
No, and you know what's so funny? When I was screaming at him, I was like, I pulled like a half bake. I was like, you're cool, you're cool, you're cool. Ron, you could get fucked. I'm out of here. But then I went to, like, zip my bass up in the bag, and like the
Alright.
zipper was stuck. So I was like, all right, I'll get out of here. And like, yeah. Yeah, it was like an awkward, like I wasn't cool in the exit. Like the zipper on my base bag got stuck. And honestly, and then I left. Then I came back and I was like, I forgot my hoodie.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot my water.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot that.
So that's the entire story, this entire thing. Brian asks, how is the word retardation allowed on this show? Brian, because I just possess and exude a level of machismo and class that allows me to tell a very long-winded story that culminates in the R word being used in a classy way. You do not have that security clearance. It's that simple.
You're offensive when you say it.
Yeah, and you say it with such vigor.
Yeah. Well, yeah, speaking of money, I think I scammed Amazon for $1,000.
Oh no, should you be
No, if not more.
should you be saying this on air?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
So I'm on this Discord that it's basically a resellers Discord. It's a whole community based around like helping each other with like prices on eBay and controlling and monopolizing markets of like merchandise and figures and cards and all kinds of stuff. And also price errors are something we also take advantage of. So apparently,
So wait, back it up. What are price errors? Like you're talking to me like I know the market and the lingo.
a price error is when there's like a glitch or some coder goes in and messes with something maliciously on the website, and it's like a pair of like Nike Dunks or whatever goes up for like $0 for sale, and like
how
people
is that even possible?
I mean, this stuff happens all the time.
Huh.
So it happened with a bunch of gift cards on Amazon for like 45 minutes yesterday. We're talking like PlayStation gift cards, Apple fucking
So what
Apple
do you
gift
think that somebody
store gift
stole
cards.
like a bunch of gift cards from like Walmart? or
No,
something?
it's not that. It's like they went in and altered the price.
Oh wow.
Someone
Okay.
altered the price probably. So some intern was like, maybe on his way out and was like, "Let me get you guys good." So it was like, I just went in and we all started buying a bunch of stuff, but it turns out like not everyone is some people are getting their value from the Apple Store ones and other people are getting the value that they bought them for. So I haven't got mine yet, so I don't even really know what's going to happen.
So what was
I might
your
have
exact participation in this? Break it down for me.
I bought like $800, I think, and wait, I had a screenshot. I did it all in like an Excel file. Yeah, $804 of actual spent money, and it equivalates to $1,425 in like gift cards from third parties like Uber Eats and like Amazon flat gift cards. Like a $100 gift card for Amazon was like $50. So stay tuned to next week to see if I actually got any of this
Wow.
stuff.
So what? You're waiting for them like in the mail?
Yeah, they're getting mailed. So I guess I would have to like
yeah.
look
So
at
dude,
it.
those fell off the back of a truck, dude.
No, it wasn't. It was through Amazon. It was
Yeah.
through Amazon.
Through Amazon Mafia.
But yeah,
FBI's coming after you, dude.
That's fine. I'll just sell them on eBay. So embezzling money. Speaking of also money, I am doing a $10,000 betting challenge. Apparently,
Oh Jesus
this is the thing
Christ.
where like you take $10 and try to turn it into $10,000.
How? How is that even possible?
So the first bet was today, which has not hit yet. I mean, maybe it's hitting soon. Who knows? It's on basketball. There's one guy to get a bunch of rebounds, and this other guy to make
Do
one.
you watch basketball? Do you know anything about basketball?
I do. I watch the Sixers. Yeah.
Oh, see, I love
And I
basketball.
watch the West Coast. I watch the West Coast games like the Warriors or Lakers or whatever.
Well, I guess
bet-
like
well, there was nothing else to bet on earlier in the year. I'm not going to bet on hockey. Football's over, and baseball was like barely warming up. It hadn't started yet, so I had to bet on
all
something.
right, you don't
So I
have
was
to yell at
betting-
me about it.
Bet on a lot of basketball. I was betting on a lot of live bets where it's like you watch like Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler averages like 25 points per game, you wait till like halftime or just before halftime, he only has like 5 or 6 points. and then his
Oh, so you
line
get like a
would
plus
down.
225
You get
point.
like a plus 100 for him to get like 18 points.
Right.
But 18 points before the game would have been like minus 1,000.
Right.
And then you just put like 25 on it, and then usually it does hit. So it's kind of a hack sometimes. So yeah, so apparently you just roll this over and you keep rolling it over. Like $10 wins 40, and that 40 wins 80, and that 80 wins 100, 200.
Oh yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, every time.
Apparently that's how it works.
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the first bet might even die because it's 10 minutes.
So what's
left.
your first bet?
It was Oscar Thompson to get 6 rebounds, and he had 12.
All right.
And
Okay.
Scotty Barnes to get 1 3.
1 3-pointer.
That was minus 127.
I like that.
I boosted
like how
it.
you did the first down.
Kobe. Yeah, first down. Kobe.
Hey, well, welcome to Here Comes the Lame. It's a real sports show. We're just doing a real life sports show. Hey, have you seen the graphic that the games that Travis Kelce has played with Taylor Swift in the stands? He has like 100 yards average receiving, but the game
like
without
he's like
her only 25.
Yeah. Did you see also Brittany Mahomes, the root of all evil, Brittany Mahomes, and
They have like a handshake.
and Taylor's like,
It's the worst. It's the worst shit in the entire fucking world.
what is the NFL doing? Like, why do they? I thought the NFL was like the most popular thing.
You know,
when it's on.
it's so fucked.
Why does people have to do why does she? And she's super popular too.
Well,
Why
she's
does
more
she have to do
popular, if not as popular, as the entire NFL.
Why does she have to do this publicity stuff?
Yo, but is it a publicity stunt, or are they just two crazy kids in love?
What I really don't understand is that girl from the Chargers. Have you seen her? The
Oh
Asian
my God,
woman?
the alien lady?
Why is she a thing? Is this their attempt at getting women like more incorporated?
Yo,
into the
how
sport?
funny is it that like football becomes wrestling? You know, like it's like obviously
They're
football.
all Renees. They're like a bunch of Renees and Samantha Irvings. as
Yo,
far as I'm
if there was not wrestling, you could replace that Asian lady with Samantha Irving, like rooting for the Chargers, 100%. And did you see? It's like, so that one game with the crazy Asian lady who was, for those of you watching at home who don't know sports, the camera kept cutting to like imagine like Undertaker shocked guy, right? But like it was like Undertaker shocked guy every play, and for every single camera cut had a different, equally as like contrived shock face. Joe, am I describing this Chargers fan correctly?
Yeah, and she also has a forehead the size of like a flight deck.
Well, that's just
Right.
genetics. That's genetics. You can't hate on that. We're focusing
Land a
on
fucking helicopter on it.
We're focusing on hating on her behavior, not the fact that you could land a full-blown helicopter on her forehead.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess this is an attempt of the NFL to like get women more interested or just get ratings up if they start showing like influencer reaction
Asian
shots.
ladies. they
It's
looked
so
at the numbers
stupid.
and they were like,
Like,
yo.
what's next?
They
Like
looked at the-
Chewbacca mask lady comes back.
They
You
looked at
remember
the numbers and they were like, yo.
Chewbacca mask lady? How cringy
Well,
that
and
was?
yo, dude, think about this, dude. In the Attitude Era, Raw would have like 15 million viewers, right? Nowadays, Raw, like SmackDown is the best show of all the wrestling business. And that tops out at 2 million. It compared to like 10 to 15 in the Attitude Era. And the NFL is doing like 25 million a clip every episode, right? Thursday, Monday, Sunday. So they're like, yo, we need Undertaker guy. But no, they looked at the numbers and they were like, okay, we are
Undertaker guy, yeah.
we are crushing it like in every demographic, right? We are the most popular show on the entire fucking television technology, right? And then they're like, oh, well, where are we a little weak? Oh my God. Asian ladies, 25 to 36. We're hurting a little bit. There's a tiny bit of fucking money that we could that we're leaving on the table. So it's like, yo, let's employ this fucking Buffalo Wild Wings fucking floor manager, waitress, to fucking, you know what I'm
But
saying?
did you see? Did you also see that she had like a Vikings gear on?
Okay,
Also,
so this is the controversy. I'm going to walk you through it. She was cheering for the Chargers. Everyone said that she was an AI, like fucking alien, right? And then she went on the talk shows, and how fucking
She was on
convenient.
the talk shows too.
How
Come on.
convenient that like she must have some kind of manager or agent like ready to put her on all these talk shows the next day, right? And she goes,
Yeah.
"No, I'm a mom of 4. I'm a crazy Chargers fan." Then the photo came out that she was also dressed and being a crazy Vikings fan. But then, so everyone was like, "Oh, she's fake." But no, turns out one of her 4 kids plays for a local Pop Warner team named the Vikings. So it's like, oh, okay, this woman's not evil. She's cool. She's cool. She's cool. And then what does she do? Her and the NFL and whoever her fucking creators, whoever her architect was, fucking doubled down in Arrowhead Stadium. She's the only human being with a Chargers jersey on. She's sitting front row on the south goalpost, and she's wearing a hat, Buffalo Wild Wing.
Wait, what is this lore behind the Buffalo Wild Wings?
It's just like everyone thought she was a plant.
Advertisement, like
Well, no, but the thing is that everyone thought she was a
bourbon
plant.
barbecue wings, like that commercial.
Everyone thought she was a plant. She came out and did interviews saying, "Yo, I'm not a plant. I just love football." Then the Vikings shit came out. She overcame that because the loophole was, well, my son plays for the Pop Warner Vikings. And then it's like, I'm not a plant. I'm not a plant. I'm not a plant. And everyone's like, okay, we trepidatiously, we believe you. And then it's like, okay, cool. I'm going to sit front row at Arrowhead Stadium. She's the only person wearing a Chargers fucking jersey, front row at Arrowhead Stadium, and she's wearing a fucking Buffalo Wild Wings hat. Get the fuck out of my face.
So damn cringe, bro.
It is so cringe, and the NFL is like faker than wrestling, dude. It's faker than wrestling. It really is.
And that's why I think it's very scripted, because that's, just another tell.
All right, yo, I got to pee. Let's take 5. You want to take 5? Then we'll get into actual wrestling?
Yeah, we'll talk wrestling after 5.
All right, listen. Hey, by the way, guys, I am still using civilian technology for these streams. So every so often with Joe, I'll freeze. Every so often on Versus the World, I'll freeze. And you might notice that we're doing a fire background. It's because the civilian program I use decided to completely fuck me. So listen, just go with it. Joe, I got to tell you, if this guy responds to my $1,600 a week email, this show is going to cease to exist.
Yeah, all right. On the other side.
See you on the other side, Joe. We can still text about wrestling, but I think if that guy accepts this, we're going to cease to exist.
Side.
All right, just watch this intro glitch, listen to the music, vibe out with your friends and family members, share, comment, like, subscribe. We're gonna go pee break. Bye-bye.
Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
Hello,
Oh, so cursed, may you
and
burn
welcome
hell
back
forever.
to Here Comes the Lame with a Boulevard Boys versus the World skin, because all of my programs and all of my media decided to collapse this evening. But Joe, I see that you are no longer wearing Philadelphia Phillies gear, but you are being a good sport. Oh, it's all about the Eagles. It's all about the Philadelphia Eagles. Yo, how cool is it, though, before we get into wrestling, how cool is it to have, like, a center Like you have like the best center in the league. Like your offensive lineman, the center, he's like the star of your team in a way. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Travis is more popular, right? Because he's an offensive player.
Well, more glamorous. You know, they're both offensive players.
You know why Jason is so popular, right?
Because he's just like built like a keg of beer.
Is because when they won the Super Bowl and had the parade, you know what the Mummers Parade is down here?
Is that like Canyon of Heroes in New York? Basically, like when you win the championship.
Well, there was a parade, but he was dressed like a mummer, and the mummers are like these big, flashy, kind of like Mardi Gras-esque bells and whistles, kind of like, setup. Huge, big hats.
But in like Philly.
Yeah, but it happens. The Mummers Parade happens every year on New Year's Day. New Year's Day is the biggest drinking day of the year down here. But he was dressed like he was the Eagles Super Bowl parade, so he was dressed like a mummer. Anyway, so they go to the art museum, the Rocky Steps, and they're all, saying their piece, and he goes up there and basically shoot wrestling promo, on the whole league and how no one liked them, and no one. That's how their whole like no one likes us, we don't care kind of thing happened, and he became immensely popular after that.
So he cut the promo.
He cut a huge promo scream. Look it up. I'll send it to you. Like, look up like Kelsey Parade promo. It was like, can I get a hell yeah? Like he was saying that exactly.
Yeah, he was in it. He was in it. Yeah.
He was like, if you like Eagles, give me a hell yeah. It was like legit, like Austin promo, and then or Austinisms, and then just yeah. He was like, so and so can't catch, so and so can't block, so and so can't stay off the juice. Blah blah blah. No one wanted us to win. No one believed in us. Nobody. And he's like, voices cracking. Nobody.
Sounds iconic, honestly.
Oh, it's. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's a hugely popular.
Speaking of iconic, let's
Jersey sell, like, it's all because of that moment.
Speaking of iconic, let's transition to your favorite wrestler and mine, Jade Cargill. I want to talk briefly. I know you have like a whole setup about like the wrestling shows that happened, but I'm going to throw a wrench in your works and I want to talk about NXT Halloween Havoc.
Oh, this one sounds juicy. I saw a lot of pics and reels from this.
Yo, I mean, I got to say that although, whatever, maybe not the most punk rock thing in the world, I got to give it up for Shotzi. And who's carrying cross? Scarlett Bordeaux.
What'd they do?
Yo, they hosted the NXT Halloween show.
Oh, they hosted it.
And they did like 10 costume changes. At one point, she was like Pinhead. At one point, Shotzi was Pinhead. At another point, they came out and they were like the twins from The Shining.
Oh, really?
Yo, and they did hit like every major point of like what a legitimate horror fan would like enjoy seeing. Like, cause like, is it really that mainstream to like reference the twins from The Shining, or like Edward Scissorhands? Their key demo is like 18 to 30. You know what I mean? So like,
doesn't know anything about this kind of stuff,
right? Like, so it's like it's likely that like. It was all a nostalgia thing. Like, you probably weren't even marketing to people who actually saw the fucking movie, Yeah,
I mean, the people that watch NXT are just young marks and simps.
Well, and even I was laughing at, like, Gigi Dolan, who came out in, like, Beetlejuice gear. It's like, yo, dude, you were born 10 years after Beetlejuice even came out.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
What was your comment about looks like Darby? Looks just like Darby?
Oh, my God. So, yo, if you look deep into Priscilla Kelly's eye sockets and, like, the nose structure and, like, the jawline, if you really think about it, she looks like she's Darby's cousin, dude.
Yeah, she's always looked like Darby.
They look exactly alike.
I mean, she looks a little less because...
I mean, I would definitely bang Priscilla Kelly over Darby.
When she was Priscilla, she had the dark hair, and she looked a lot like him.
And they have like similar mannerisms, even like the way that they like emote and the way that they like perform.
Well, it was just her like swagger jacking him.
Oh, you think that she learned from him?
Well, not learned, or just like patting herself after that.
Have you heard the story of the first time?
Nobody.
Have you heard the story of the first time that Darby Allin and Priscilla Kelly hit the road together for Beyond, and like he was really trying to impress her as his new girlfriend? Have you heard this?
No.
Well, what he did is like they were driving from, wherever the fuck they live, Hoboville, USA, to like wherever, and he was like, "Hey, you know what? I really want to impress you. I'm gonna pull over and stop right now."
Oh, I think I've maybe heard this. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna go into a Buffalo Wild Wings and I'm gonna get like the atomic hot sauce. Like I'm not gonna go medium, what, mild, what, hot, what, very hot. No, he's like, yo, I'm going full atomic. I'm going 911 hot sauce. And I'm gonna wipe it. I never heard, Joe, I have never heard of anything like this in my entire fucking life. But Darby Allin said, "Hey, I'm gonna take a bunch of this sauce. I'm gonna put it on a fucking wipe, on a what do you call it, like a wet one, and I'm gonna wipe my butt. Me, Darby Allin, I'm gonna wipe my butt with this 911 hot sauce, and then I'm gonna drive us to wrestle for Drew Cordero, and I'm gonna impress you with the way that I can sit with flaming hot 911 hot sauce in my butthole." And you know what Priscilla Kelly said, Joe?
Will you marry me?
I wanna fuck. Yeah. Wow.
Well, now she's dating a Nazi, right?
Yeah, now she's dating the Nazi guy, yeah. You know what? If there was a pool on who she would maybe date next, other guys who would put hot sauce in their butthole, Zachary Wentz would have been at the top of my fucking list.
Yeah.
Another snaggletooth, crazy butthole hot sauce motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Just like any and anything. Anything for the ass, I guess.
Dude, if I could have gotten in my life, if I could have gotten laid by sitting on extra hot sauce, call me Ron Jeremy, dude. I would have fucking crushed.
Yeah, you would have been like, you'd be sitting in stock pots of hot sauce all day.
I would have crushed it. If is that all it takes to bang a hot woman? Just wipe my butt with hot, just dip my butthole in 911 hot sauce, dude. I'm fucking there, dude. Darby Allin
anything else
sucks.
happen on the show?
What?
Anything else happen on the show?
What show?
On the Halloween Havoc show.
I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is that Shotzi and Scarlett hosted it.
I saw Roxanne Perez was dressed.
Oh, she was
Freddy.
Freddy. She was the Freddy Krueger. Yeah.
And they were like, "Who did it better, Alexa Bliss or Roxanne?"
Oh wow, I'm getting word here that Ron Jeremy is not a good person. Who? Okay, so if Ron Jeremy has been canceled, who's the Michael Jordan of male porn stars then?
Johnny Sins.
I guess Johnny Sins might be the because like.
Why did Jeremy get canceled?
Well, I mean, take your pick.
Yeah.
He probably put too much hot sauce on his butt one too many times.
Yeah. I saw Becky lost the NXT championship.
Right, but then she glared at your favorite wrestler, Jade Cargill, who was sitting in a throne.
Oh, on a throne?
Yo, before the match.
Everyone's trying to give her a rub, man.
Before the title match, Jade Cargill came out and she had like minions and she sat on a throne. Yo, she didn't go to commentary and like watch from commentary or like timekeepers. She had like a throne on the stage to like survey the fucking field. You know what I'm saying? And then after Becky lost, she gave a long, lengthy glare.
A Throne of Blood.
Throne of Blood, great movie, by the way.
Yeah. I'm trying to find that quote from Ghostbusters when the guy says that.
Says what?
Vigo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters.
Dude, Vigo, don't even.
He was like, I am the scourge of Carpathia. Da da da. or blah, 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 sat on a throne of blood.
Sat on a throne of hot sauce.
So, I guess before Becky lost her NXT championship, she was on Monday Night Raw. And I'm looking at results here, and it looks like another boring fucking Raw. I don't know where they were.
Now, is
this
this
week.
the one? Are we a week behind, or is this the one
Monday.
where Jay and Cody lost the titles, or are we a week after that?
No, this is already a week after that.
Okay. So walk me through it. Break it down for me, Joe.
New Day defeats Alpha Academy, whatever. The man Becky Lynch defeats Indy Hartwell via submission to retain. So I guess Indy gets her.
Yo, what's up? Shout out Captain Dave. Yo, shout out Captain Dave. I'm sorry. Continue, Joe.
Dave. What's going on, Dave? And then she lost the next night, so she's not the champ anymore. Gargano defeats Giovanni Vinci, whatever. Fucking Johnny same face. Women's tag team champions Chelsea Green and Piper Niven defeat Natalya and Nikki Cross. Drew McIntyre defeats Sami Zayn. Looks like Bronson Reed squashed Akira Tozawa.
Yo, I'm kind of into like Drew McIntyre now, though.
Is he turning heel?
I don't know if he's turning heel, but he's just like walking up to every person in the company and telling them exactly what he thinks about them. And I kind of fucking love that.
Shooting on him? He's just shooting on people?
Yeah, he's just like shooting. He's like, hey, Sami Zayn, like, the only reason you're popular is because you like hooked up with Jey Uso. Like, you suck. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Drew. And then Drew's like, hey, this guy, like, hey, Solo, you suck too. Like, yeah, Drew McIntyre's just coming out telling everybody like why they suck.
Yeah.
Which I think is like kind of dope. Like,
that sounds funny.
yeah, he's like, the reason why I should be the champion and not you is because like your gimmick is lame. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of dope. Like, I'm kind of into Drew McIntyre right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling it.
And then it was the main was just Damian Priest defeats main event Jey Uso. I'm sure there was a
Oh, dude,
sure
I mean, I'm
something.
like, well, and that's the thing. It's like
that's the main event of Raw.
I was so sick of
Uso.
Drew McIntyre. Like, I was sick of him. Like, I didn't hate him, but it's just like in the way that he was presented and what he was doing, I was so sick of him. And then, listen, goes off at TV for like 6 months, comes back, starts like telling Austin Theory and like LA Knight why they suck. And it's like, yo, I'm feeling this. Like, I'm kind of into this guy, Yeah, like, wear your kilt, talk your shit, King. Yeah, I'm into it.
Swing a big sword.
Yeah, swing your big sword. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm a mark because when they're like shoving Drew down my throat, I'm like, fuck Drew. But like, they know that I'm thinking that. So then they're like, we're going to put him on the back burners. Then he'll come out and like, he'll shoot on them, and it's like the idea on paper is so lame, but I'm watching it. I'm like, I love this guy, like it's like working on me,
I've always liked him.
Yeah.
I've always liked, he never really had, maybe he'll get, I don't know what they would do with him.
Well,
I mean,
to
it's not
me,
going to
he
be.
still deserves like, because you think about it, he, and now it's like, it seems like forever ago. It's a moment in time, but he was like the COVID WrestleMania champ.
But I also saw no mention of Seth Rollins and Nakamura on these results.
No, okay. So that's what Drew did. Drew came out and buried Seth.
Yeah, so he's gonna definitely get a title shot, right?
Listen, if you want to switch it from Seth to Drew, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's the secondary title.
I was about to say that, like, yeah, the only belt they can really give him is that other world.
The other world title. And, it's so bullshit because that title really is just the IC. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like the work rate title.
It looks like exactly like the IC title, just with not as wide. It's right. IC is like.
Well, and they gave it a little bit of
Arrow.
that WCW World Championship vibe as well. But basically the
AI generated belts.
Yeah, I mean the World Championship that Seth holds is basically like the quasi IC. It's the work rate title, Yeah. It's not the marquee title. It's not like the prize fighter title. It's like the work rate every show guy. And Seth and Drew came out and he was like, Seth Rollins, you don't even have a gimmick. You're acting like he said everything that Cornette says. You're acting like Jack Nicholson, Joker. You don't have a gimmick. You suck. The only thing that's cool about you is that the fans sing your stupid song. I'm gonna beat you up. And I'm like, yo,
That's really what it is. I mean, that's a lot of people's gimmicks on the show where their character sucks and it's just fans singing their
they're
songs.
all song.
Yeah.
There are definitely more guys in mainstream wrestling right now that are all song than there ever have been.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and I
that's a
say
lot.
this having
He's
lived
too.
through
I mean, that's how
Sandman.
GCW was, or GCW is. The people just go to party and want to sing, and when it comes down to the wrestling, it's secondary, or they just go for the pop. I was there.
Right,
I
the
was
entrance
there.
pop, the music,
Entrance pop, the music. Entrance pinfall pop again. Oh, it was an amazing show. What was your favorite match? Oh, definitely this match. Why? Oh, because like I love him and he's so good. I'm like, can you name like any moves that were
Name
done?
5 songs.
Yeah, like who was in control of the match? Like for a majority of the match, what was psychology like? Did they work any body parts? Like, da 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 da. Like
You're fucking with a different boy.
Did
What
you
else?
see a SmackDown? Did you see the Snack Down?
Oh, they have a new like catering
Or food court? I think it's a food court in the new WWE headquarters.
so you could go to the cafeteria and it's named Snack Down.
You go in the headquarters to get coffee or lunch. It's like a small cafe, luncheonette.
So that's
kinda
not
thing.
really for the wrestlers. That's more for like the cubicle fucks.
Yeah, the office types. I don't know. Like, I mean, the wrestlers can use it too, but the wrestlers aren't showing up to the HQ to wrestle.
Right.
They eat in. Everybody eats in catering. So
And I'm sure they're
I mean,
not
still has
building a
to go for,
Snack
like,
Down sign in
contract
catering.
negotiations or talk to somebody or do some sort of appearance or whatever.
Yeah,
there.
but like think about
How
it
does
this
that
way.
happen?
Let's just pick the guy that we were most recently talking about, Drew McIntyre. Let's say you needed to go to the building, the actual office building, because Snack Down is really the cafeteria for like the office people.
Yeah, that's why it's there. Yeah.
So if you were going to meet with like Paul or Vince, let's say you were Drew McIntyre, and you wear your slides and your joggers, like you're just there for like
Or
business.
probably what's the hip thing? Crocs.
Your little Crocs. Like if I was a wrestler going to the E building to negotiate my contract, I'm no Mark. You wouldn't catch me dead eating at Snack Down. Like I'll eat before I
Just
walk
grab
in.
a
I'll
coffee
eat before
there.
I walk in. I'll get some takeout, eat, walk in. Like, I don't need Snack Down. I'm no Mark.
Or I gotta jump on a flight or drive up to Connecticut or drive up here. I gotta grab a coffee though.
Nah, you
And
don't
maybe
go
a
to
snack
if
to
you're a
check out the
wrestler,
snack.
if you are
And
a
a snack at the Snack Down.
no. If you're a wrestler trying to fucking make your way in this business and you get into that building, you better not go to Snackdown. You better show up with your own Starbucks and be fucking chilling, dude. If I see you on the security camera at Snackdown, you're not getting signed. You're a mark.
Mark. So yeah. Anything else WWE wise?
No,
I didn't get
mean-
Royal Rumble tickets. I told you about that last week. I had a difficulty getting through the Tampa Bay Rays site.
Right.
I'll have tickets to Rumble, but I don't think it's going to be an issue.
You're gonna catch them like a week before.
Yeah. I mean, I tried looking at them again. I'm like, I don't think it's sold out. I just don't think they have that level, that price point of seats, that I want.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you know why I'm going there, so it doesn't really.
You're gonna
fucking
hit some
matter.
StubHub, or some Grubhub, some fucking
Some Grubhub. Yeah.
Schmiegelseats.com, and you're gonna fucking grab your shit.
So yeah, that does it for the E this week. When is their
Hey, let me ask you
2
one final
weeks?
E question.
2 weeks till their next big show, right?
Let me ask you a final E question because, by the way, I love your comments on our Instagram. Back to this content. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're back.
No, we're gonna get demonetized on here.
We're back on the low-hanging fruit, dude. We are back on the low-hanging Instagram fruit.
We're not putting that on YouTube, right?
Oh, no, we wouldn't dare. The only thing I put on YouTube is stolen fan footage.
Yeah.
I
Or
learned.
any sort of Rhea Ripley footage. Yeah.
Yeah, just like upper deck Rhea Ripley footage. That's all we do on. We're a Rhea Ripley fan footage stan account now on YouTube.
Yeah. Basically.
So I have to ask you one final question about the E, and it's very simple. Is CM Punk coming to WWE?
Yeah, I would like to think so. I definitely am in the Survivor Series eggs are in the Survivor Series basket.
So it's like they set up a whole show of SmackDown versus Raw, but there's one person, maybe a Seth, maybe a world heavyweight that doesn't have a fucking opponent. And it's almost like WrestleMania with Cody, open challenge. And then
It should be like someone needs a fifth in a classic Survivor Series team.
oh wow. See, I feel like that would dilute. Well, I guess it wouldn't dilute because you would still get the big entrance. You would get the entrance.
You would still get the big entrance, and then you can make him the final survivor.
Right. Or, I mean, you could go in any direction. You could have him be the final survivor. You could have him get screwed and branch it off, Yeah, there's a lot of places.
Yeah, you can do anything. He'll be fine at Chicago.
And it takes it easy on him. The pressure ain't all on him.
Exactly.
He's one of 10.
But they don't really do the classic Survivor Series matches
No, they
anymore.
really don't. They really don't.
Well, this is their chance. And I mean, H is booking, and he has a hard on for like old school, so why not? Like they might try to do it.
They
got
I want to
enough
see
guys.
CM Punk versus Triple
there has
H.
to be a match. It can't be like Alpha Academy and like Imperium or something.
He's got to be the fifth in like the Cody Bloodline Survivor Series. Like, yeah, that would be like fucking
that would
crazy.
work. So if they're gonna bring Roman back and have all those guys on one side, and then it's Team Cody,
and they only have 4.
What?
They only have, and like that team only has 4 people.
Yeah, so it'd be Cody, Jay, Sammy, maybe
Kevin,
and like Cody, Jay. Yeah. So that's 4. Look, that's an amazing match.
Right.
And
so
then just
on
have
one
CM
side,
Punk?
no, well, because it's on one side you got Roman, Solo, Jimmy, and maybe 2 people from like Judgment Day.
Oh,
like Damian and Finn or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And then on the other side you got on the other side you got Jay, Cody, Sammy, Kevin, and then
like Mussolini.
Yo, I kind of love that, honestly. I kind of fucking love. Look in my eye. I kind of fucking love that, dude. I kind of like that. Would kind of make me hype.
My fantasy booking like tends to work. It's just not always the right thing to do. Isn't or the most obvious thing. To
That's
do
why
isn't
your
the right-
fantasy booking works because it's in your fucking brain. It's your fantasy, so of course it works.
It works. Trust me.
Right. It's not that your fantasy booking. It's that your booking is your fantasy.
God damn it.
All right. What else? What else is going on?
Yeah, and they just have their big show in like 2 weeks. They got another crown jewel in Riyadh. Yeah, see, Larry's into Crocs.
Yo, do you think so? I work with a guy who's like a 19-year-old kid, and he's so into wrestling. So he's like, "Yo, have you seen this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know MJF, dude. You know what I mean?" Like, and he's like, "No way!" And so the other day he asked me, he goes, "Do you think LA Knight is gonna beat Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel?" And I was like, "Let me tell you something, you little child. If that happens."
Little Marquette.
That is a travesty of fucking justice right there.
LA Knight. All right. So what'd you watch? What AEW this week?
All right,
Anything?
so I watched a little bit of Collusion.
Which was advertised with what?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I watched a little bit of it. I think I'll tell you this.
You had it was on, and you were on your phone
All right,
the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. I was not paying. I was like listening to something else. But you have AEW notes. Is that correct?
I'm always prepared for the
All right,
podcast.
so I'm gonna give you some bland AEW thoughts before you break it down, and I want you to take it away, and I'll just fuck around and leave my comments. But I'll just say one thing. My prevailing thought is that I feel bad, but Edge sucks.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, Edge fucking sucks. Take it away, Joe.
So Dynamite was from Philadelphia this week, and
You're talking about 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. It
And
was
you
at the
didn't
Leah
go
Cora
because
Center.
you were so upset about the Phillies that you just refused to leave your house.
Yeah, I refused to leave my house and be around Marks, and have to deal with parking, and have to deal with Marks and parking and money. And
You were just crying
Spending
into your pillow about the Phillies.
I mean, we got comps, and I just was like, I don't want to go.
I don't want the cops. Phillies lost on Tuesday. Joe
yeah.
no shows on Wednesday. That's how
Yeah,
it goes.
pretty much. So the first segment to start the show, man, was I happy not to be there when the show started with this. Renee,
Oh, what's the over under? What's the over
under of Renee. It's 3.5.
Dude, I mean, for a Philly show, I would even go 4.5 over under with Renee.
No, I 3.5. You
I
gotta
mean,
give
3.5 is an over guaranteed. I'm going 3. I'm going over.
You need to win. You always lose, so I'm gonna let you
I
win.
know. I always fuck it up. Yeah.
So yes, segment starts with the Renee segment. Already off to a bad start. Backstage Renee segment with MJF, Roddy saying, Adam or Maxwell or whatever.
So lame.
And yeah, so I timed this segment with also the next one, which we'll call the MJF block. They also showed the Masked Man for a second. The MJF.
Right, he had
devil.
a little thing. And you know what? Listen.
Did the death like the fuck? It came up
Right,
for a second.
the Bray Wyatt cut.
Like,
Let me tell you something. If you think that Masked Man is anybody but Adam Cole, you got to go back to wrestling school, Daddy-O. It's gonna be Adam.
yeah, and that's their thing. Like,
Do you have an alternative idea? Do you have a theory?
no, because it's like they only have bad ideas. They don't have good ideas. Like they have this thing building up, and it's not even really building. No one really cares, and there's gonna be this payoff they think's gonna have a huge pop, and it's just gonna be Adam Cole.
Right.
And people are gonna be
and it's like Adam Cole was the evil
and they'll
one.
show a reaction in the crowd like
yeah. I mean,
and then they'll like make all the bots like say keywords like, oh, what a friendship.
right.
broken.
The Asian lady from the NFL is gonna be in the crowd like freaking out.
So so that started the show, and the next segment was MJF versus Juice Robinson.
Now I was
think,
hearing from my group chat that this match was good. How do you feel about it?
I think it was good. I'm not a big Juice fan.
Did you see that they changed the roll of quarters? Now it's like the cubic zirconia ring.
Oh man.
Did you see this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. Well, they changed the quarters because it was a
little too. It was a little too.
taste.
Yeah, it was like in bad taste. So like, he had the roll of quarters. Juice had the roll of quarters that said Friedman on it, but now he has like the fake ring. They just tried to like seamlessly change it without anybody like getting mad. Like.
This match was for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, right?
Right, but didn't he have doesn't Juice have like a fake ring?
Is that what it is
I
now?
think he has like a fake ring.
Okay.
I don't know.
I should probably use my eyes. I timed the original segment with Renee and with MJF and all that, and his match to him going back up the ramp, and then Kenny Omega being there, and then having words. All this took 30 fucking minutes of the show.
First 30
was just all MJF on the screen.
And
They always do this.
And Kenny is just like in the title picture for some reason.
Kenny, it's so another AEW thing. They decided to book Omega and MJF for the first time ever for this Saturday's Collision.
Right.
No program, no build
it's
up,
like on
nothing.
the eve of MJF having a longer title reign than Kenny, right? Or something.
That's the only reason they're doing the match. Not doing the match to make money.
Right.
And build it up. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to get onto why you should promote certain things in a show to make money later on. in this show. Trust me, I'm gonna go in.
Lay it on us, Joe. Keep going.
Next segment was RVD. Of course, we're in Philly. You got to have RVD on the show, right? RVD and Hook defeat the Dork Order. Yeah, it's just Taz, putting over everything. Like, oh, I know this move. I digress.
Hey,
and I know that. I digress. And this move.
Hook
right here in Philadelphia. I digress.
Hook sucks.
That's
my new T-shirt.
You know what
Hook
sucks now because they ruined her? Is the next segment, Timeless Tony Storm.
Oh my God, yo, dude, she had such a small window of being like the dopest shit happening, and they already fucking blew it. Yep.
Always ruin everything. Well, this time I don't know if it's my feed. Did they? I don't know if they actually showed her picture this time, like in without picture in picture. Like they show her silent film. But they always do it in like
right,
picture.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it this week because I was on a feed.
No, they did.
They did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, 100%.
So they did show it.
If you were on like
showed it in full image.
If you were on like the Skybox One feed or like the We Watch Wrestling feed, it doesn't cut to picture in picture because it's not domestic ads. So you might have seen it differently. But I
watched it like full image.
But it's still silent.
Correct.
Right.
You can't tell what the fuck's going on.
And it's dumb. And more importantly, it's dumb.
It's dumb. I understand. But they also introduced Luther into this now.
Oh.
Luther's going to be her like enforcer bodyguard or something.
Dude, just when we thought we were out of Luther, they pulled us back in.
I discovered Luther. I'm Chris Jericho, greatest of all time, the Wizard, Lionheart,
the Klansman,
the show Le Champion. I discovered the Japanese legend Luther. I brought him to AEW. I also discovered Sammy Guevara,
right?
A Spanish god, Spanish sex god. I brought him to
because I like to watch him bang my wife.
I invented that. Remember all those Jericho I invented memes like 7, 8
the worst.
Ago?
Yo, Jericho's like the new Hogan, dude.
Yeah, no, he 100% is. Don't worry, he's coming up soon. Next segment. So this was the part that I was really triggered by was the Sting segment. Tony Schiavone's like, Sting.
Oh, this is the worst. Wait, is this the gift? Wait, okay. So now I'm
the gift. We have a.
Is
gift.
this the gift? Okay, carry on.
We have a gift. And it's Darby, right? Comes out, and who else is also with him? Schiavone, Darby. That's all it was. They're like, oh, we have a gift for you.
See, I didn't see this because like the way they promoted it was that Tony Khan had a gift for Sting. So did Tony come out during this?
No, he did not.
Oh, bummer.
And there was no mention of this happening, and they didn't promote it whatsoever. And Ric Flair comes out, and yeah, so they're you constantly see these screen grabs of all these empty arenas and the lack there.
They're getting worse than ever. These empty arenas,
and they decide to get Ric Flair, which can put asses in seats.
Could he though?
I think if they promoted like Ric Flair.
The last time you'll see Ric Flair and Sting in a ring together.
Yes. Ric Flair addresses. Ric Flair will make his AEW debut and address Sting. I think they would have. I don't know if the show would have sold out, but like it would have definitely filled up more than it was. Because I heard the whole like top tier thing, the whole upper deck was empty.
Oh well, some of these shots of like whether it's Sting announcing his final match or like Edge coming out. Or even Samoa Joe talking, like some of those shots of them, like talking to hard cam, and I guess AEW doesn't like sell the hard cam side. Dude, it's like depressing.
They got to move to smaller arenas. But yeah, I don't even know what Flair even said. I was too busy texting people bitching about why they would not promote this, but they don't want to make money. I guess like Tony Khan has enough money. He's just playing with his action figures, I guess. So,
I like when AEW started and continued to like devolve into like bullshit. I love Jim Cornette. And when Jim Cornette says, "Oh, it's just this rich guy playing with his action figures," I refused to believe that. I said to myself, "Nah, Jim, I love you, Jim, but it's more complicated than that. Like, it's not that simple. Like, nah, this guy Tony's got to have like a mind. Like, there's got to be a reason. It's not just as simple as him playing with his action figures and making his spreadsheets while he like snorts Adderall at home." But after like 5 years of watching the show, I feel like that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's he gives he doesn't give a fuck.
Are you excited about Sting's last match at all?
I mean, yeah, that's cool, but I mean, who's it going to be? It's going to be versus Ric Flair now?
I hope so.
That'll be like Hogan and Flair in TNA.
Oh my God.
Also, did you see that? Also, Impact rebranded to TNA.
Oh my God. You know what? Listen, I don't give a fuck what they do. It's fine. If you want to, which by the way is so counterproductive, because if you were going to interview every single person on the Impact roster to a man and ask them if the original idea of Vince Russo calling TNA total nonstop action because he wanted to like make the Jerry Springer crowd think of tits and ass. All these roster people, like, you know what I mean? All these people on their roster are so woke that if they knew the actual fucking meaning and origin of it, they'd be like, no, fuck that. But then did you see, just like the SmackDown versus Raw, like 2002 draft, they had a camera in the locker room to see all the Impact talent react to the announcement. Yeah, exactly. TNA, 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 TNA. Keep me paid. Keep me paid.
ODB.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Joe, what are we going to do with wrestling? What's your favorite thing to actually watch? Like, what do you actually watch and, like, draw joy from at this point?
Movies.
Movies. Oh, actual movies. Wow.
I had to watch
with
wrestling?
Real actors.
I had to watch wrestling. I mean, the only show I am watching is Dynamite, but that's so I can have something to talk about.
Yeah, but Dynamite's like, it's almost like Mystery Science Theater 3000 at this point. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's not even like you're watching Mystery Science Theater 3000. You are the silhouette. Yeah, like you have to do the work to become.
I mean, that's kind of what this show is, right? Kind of what this podcast is.
Right. You are seeing the interviews of the people who were the silhouettes while watching the movie. Yeah.
Or the angry, the Muppets, the old man Muppets.
In the not too distant future. Anyway. We'll send him cheesy movies.
The worst that we can find.
La, la, la. Hell yeah, dude. What an iconic show.
Hey. Robot roll call.
So I mean, we're talking about AEW Dynamite. I need to know the thing I care the most is the Renee over under, which will become eventually will
Renee
become
segment
a
2
contest
just
on
hit.
this show. The Renee over
segment up. Renee's next segment is up, so that's 2 on the show. And this one's with Jericho. And Jericho has an awful vignette about how he's I don't know, he's like, Powerhouse Hobbs, I never saw him coming. He hit me with his strongest moves. He kept powerhousing me and this, that, and it's just like an awful fucking promo. And Renee is just like corpsing.
Yeah,
Jericho
she's
says,
worst.
I think it's almost about time that Chris Jericho gets serious.
Oh, finally.
Like he's supposed to be like, Chris Jericho is gonna go on break or like maybe hang up his boots, and it's like, I'm gonna get
I'm doubling down on my TV time.
The Elite defeat the Hardys. It was Adam Page and the Elite versus Private Party and the Hardy Boys. Jeff Hardy, I think it was drunk actually.
How dare you?
Just seemed really
That's
like
so judgmental. Don't be judgmental.
I mean, he seemed really out of it.
No, he's one of these guys. Just like
wasn't like dun, 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 dun. He was just like doing this, like kind of just comes.
Well, it's because he's been drunk for so long. You can't tell. He's sober now though. Trust Matt. Matt made sure.
Guess who's up next? Renee, third segment of the show. The worst is when you get like so many Renee segments within like 20 minutes or like 15 minutes.
Yeah, but they're kind of rocking Dasha now. They're kind of pushing Dasha a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't remember seeing her on this show. Maybe she was.
You know my favorite person in AEW is?
On Collision.
You know who my favorite person is? It's that
On Collision?
QTV girl who does the rap video.
What?
You know who I'm talking about?
Oh. QT Marshall, like
No,
his
there's
fucking.
a QTV girl that does like rap videos with like John Morrison and whoever the other guy is, and in these rap videos she wears like 25 different slutty outfits, and I'm just like loved. That's my favorite part of the show.
That bet hit in overtime, by the way.
Hey, here we go, Joe.
A minute left in OT.
Hell yeah.
Day one has me sweating.
Let's go.
What was next?
In the not too distant future.
So the Renee, the third Renee segment had Edge and Sting this time.
Oh, thank fucking God.
I don't even know what they were even talking about. Maybe something important happened here. I don't know.
Well, no, I know this because I saw this. I watched this.
What? Great God.
Sting was upset because Edge refuses to fight Christian. Edge came back to partner with Christian, not fight him. And now, even though Christian said a very slutty and horrible thing about Edge's wife, and told Edge that his father was dead, and whatever the fuck else.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Christian came out in that Flair segment.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's what I completely skipped over that. Yeah.
Right, and that was the same.
My notes are like shitty.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, it's fine because the show's shitty, so it's fine. But yeah. So then,
but he did say like, sorry about unlike your Philadelphia Phillies,
right,
who couldn't finish the job.
Yo, Christian's so dope. Yeah. I'm
Imagine
a champion, unlike the
full
Philadelphia Philly.
Yeah. You know how he talks like, duh, like you're like your Philadelphia, like that monotone. He gets that monotone.
Your Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, so apparently, I guess Ed, and that was like a whole like circle jerk, like that, like the opening segment happened, and then Edge came out, then Christian came out. It was like a whole fucking thing, and yeah. So, but the problem was that Sting and Edge apparently have known each other for a long time, and Sting is imploring Edge to realize that he needs to choose violence and fight Christian Cage and stick it up his bum, And Edge is like, no, I won't fight Christian. And it's so funny because on JCE, they were like, yo, this is the stupidest shit ever. Like, you want to come back and be
friends. He's going to drive him. I mean, like, Christian is the one who's not interested, right?
Well, no. Christian says, fuck you, Edge. And Edge,
but there he's not trying. He's not trying to wrestle him, to fight him.
No, but out of the two of them, Edge is the one taking the storyline. Like, I refuse to fight you. It's like one of those,
It's gonna have to go to the point in which Edge turns into like, real rated R superstar,
right? Like Christian, like right now, Christian insulted him.
Like he starts doing like this with the hair. You know what I mean?
On this day, I see clearly.
See clearly now. I must use the concerto.
Right. And I think because right now, and
it's over.
And like I feel bad for Edge because I have no doubt that Edge is like a creative guy that I respect. But, like, he is the definition of somebody who is trapped in between wrestler and actor. You know what I mean? Like, so his promos are too acty to be good wrestling.
Yeah, ooh, he's always
but
really.
He's not as good. You know what I mean? He's not a good enough actor to be on to be Cena, but he's not a bad enough wrestler to not be an actor. You know what I mean? So he's like acting. He's like Cody almost. He's like using his acting. So it's like, Christian, I refuse to fight you. And then something will happen, like Christian will like slap up Beth front row or something. And it'll turn Edge into like the man that he needs to become, Now
they could really I mean, like, wait, didn't they say Beth contract might be up soon?
Well, I mean, there's been I guess the question, like Edge's first press conference, they asked, and he said like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I would love that, but like that's up in the air." But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, like they could really. This has a potential to be like a really good feud, like we talked about.
Oh, you know what? Despite
But, like-
Edge's terrible acting, and despite how
They just
bad-
have nothing to do with it now. That's why. But I
Right,
think
right,
in the
right.
long term, it'll be really good. But the whole wife mother thing, and then you can use that with Beth.
Right. But you know, they're already fucking it up though because they are involving Sting and Darby. You know,
That's because it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like WWE does, where it's like, oh, these guys.
we gotta
Judgment Day,
cross
like-
pollinate the storylines.
yeah, because they don't like they only have they put themselves in a corner where they don't build up enough guys.
Yo, but how about this? Actually, what if Sting's last match is against Edge?
I mean, that might happen too.
I think I like Sting's last match. But no, because I guess they're like good guy at Jace right now, so like that wouldn't make any sense.
What? Remember when they did the Sting going back to Joker gimmick for like one day?
When he kidnapped Prince Nana.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, by the way, I actually my notes suck. I'm remembering the show as I go. During that elite match, they showed Prince Nana and Shane Strickland, or Swerve Strickland. They house invaded. They trespassed and burglarized Adam Page's home.
Finally.
And Nana was saying some funny shit. He was saying some funny ass shit.
Yo, Nana is the man. I love him.
Yeah, Nana was saying some funny stuff, and Swerve was saying some funny stuff about like just like they were jumping on the furniture and like taking the shit off the refrigerator, magnets off the fridge and shit,
We're gonna turn
ripping up the kids' cards and shit. Like,
What are your thoughts as a fan of Swerve and his work that he's been doing recently? Are you a fan? Or?
I mean, like I've always liked him. I followed him since CZW when he had like the Michael Jackson gimmick,
Right.
or what it was with the one glove. So I've always loved him. I mean, I do like that he's getting more of his character over. But like I really liked him when he was on the indies, like right before he signed, where he wasn't doing a lot of characters and he was just like not talking. He's talking with his body basically, like during his entrance and just like his dancing and being like,
I think he's trying to be a little too hard to be like a chic luch early 2000s rapper. Like it's a little like it's a little thick for me
with
right
the grill and everything.
Yeah, it's a little thick. I love him, but like his
I always love
presentation is like he's laying it on a little thick for me right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nana to
it's a
me
little-
is saving him because Nana's the meme. Like he
Yeah.
ain't the meme. Nana is. So
Yeah.
it's like an interesting dynamic. And you know what? Like we were talking about last show, I love Nana and I want his shit to be like the most popular shit. Like I want Nana to like reap the benefits of like being over or whatever. But
Yeah.
like as a fan and as like I'm already sick of seeing the Swerve when I drive dance. Like it's already like it's already annoying to me. So it's like I'm rooting for Nana to like keep getting over, but like I kind of already hate like how much it's like the Roderick Strong Adam thing. It's like you just did it too much too early, Yeah,
that's their thing. They always find one thing and then they just do too much of it. Or if they do end up finding getting someone over properly, they immediately pull the plug. Like Wardlow, like they got him super over and they built him up so well into the match with MJF, and then he beat MJF. He squashed MJF, right?
Right.
And then like literally the very next Dynamite, I don't know.
Well,
he
they
wasn't
cut
even
his
on
hair.
the next
They
Dynamite.
cut his hair at some point.
They cut his hair, I think, later on, but they like the very next Dynamite he wasn't even on, which is already number one. And then the next Dynamite up after that, he was doing shit with Cap, fucking Major Bros guy,
Right.
lawyer.
Oh,
Fucking,
right.
what's his
He
name?
did the Mark Sterling. That was his thing after MJF.
And he did the Mark Sterling thing.
Yeah.
So they immediately killed his
Mark
fucking team.
Sterling hasn't been around.
'Cause they don't know what to do with him because they don't have Jay Cargill.
Your favorite.
He definitely was on a show or somewhere like in the last 2 weeks though.
Well, all those guys go back to Cap, Creative Pro, every so often.
Oh yeah.
Yo, maybe we should have a Here Comes the Lame family outing and go to a Cap show.
I mean, I went to the major podcasts that was at Cap when Mania was there in 2019. I drove all the way from here all the way up to Cap.
Wow. Just to get your signature chair.
Well, yeah, I did get a lot of signed shit.
I knew it.
The show
I
was
knew it.
the show was awesome.
Yeah,
They had
yeah. I'm sure.
And they're like throwing. They're
I'm
like
sure that
pegging
you thought the
fans
show
with
was
action
awesome as
figures.
your trunk was full of memorabilia.
Next show up was Sheeta on our next matchup was Sheeta defeats Ruby Riot, Ruby Soho. That was whatever. And then Tony Storm was like challenging her or whatever. Renee segment number 4.
Hell yeah, dude. We're over 3.5. I knew it.
MJF and Joe, where Joe has he's like, I'll defend you. You got a lot of people coming after you, and like, you know, you got to watch your back. I got you, but you got to remember, like, I need that title match too soon.
Right, they're positioning MJF to like have a target on his back.
He has a serious target on his back. And then the main event was, this is stupid as hell. They barely promoted this. I didn't even know he was on the show. Okada.
Right, wasn't it like a tag? Was it a tag?
It was a tag. It was Okada and Orange Cassidy. I'm sorry. Dragon and Claudio defeat Okada and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. I know. I realize. I remember seeing that it was Okada and Orange.
They said that, like, oh, so they didn't promote Flair, and I was telling people they didn't promote Okada. They're like, oh, it was all over Twitter. I'm like, what? On this giant bill, on this giant promo?
Yeah.
And he was literally the farthest up, like he was here. If the whole banner is like the scape of like this fucking camera, he was like hiding in the fucking corner right here. Biggest guy in Japan, just hiding in the corner.
Yeah, besides Orange Cassidy.
5 out of 10 show. You win the Renee this week.
Yeah. Hey, we do over. Yo, from now on, I'm always going Renee over. I'm always.
Well, if it keeps coming to 4, then I have to boost it to 4.
Yo, you know what we need? Are you going to be the official Renee handicapper? I feel like should we reach out to a third party to be our Renee handicapper?
No. Reach out to the guy that is paying you.
Ron? Dude, I just want to tell you one more time.
Yeah.
He's yelling at me about Saturday, so I just want to recreate this one more time for you, Joe. Wall right here, I went, shut the fuck up! And then, I cut a promo of a lifetime. Kane Dewey? Dewey Foley is a 6-year-old boy. You sick sons of bitches! I ripped out my heart. I ripped out my soul. Just so you can piss on it. Welcome home, Tommy Dreamer. Welcome home. Kane Dewey, the greatest living wrestling promo that you ever see in your fucking life. Notwithstanding the last thing that Tony Schiavone did. Anyway, Jedi Joe, final thoughts about your week in Philadelphia as a wrestling fan. Lay it on me, brother.
Yeah, wrestling is pretty boring right now. I saw also that whatchamacallit, GCW moved the NGI deathmatch tournament to AC, so I don't know, maybe I'll go to that.
Moved it.
But also they're going head to head with AEW's next pay-per-view, which is also in Long Island. Both of those shows are the same night on December 30th.
So what are you going to do?
I'm probably not going to go to either of them. That's how much I care about wrestling.
We're fucking grown-ass adults. We're going to go out to a nice fucking New Year's Eve party with our girls, dude.
Well, the 30th is not New Year's Eve.
But it's New Year's Eve Eve.
It's New Year's Eve. It's a Saturday, the 30th. And then, wait. How many days are in December? Isn't it the 31st?
31 past September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. Wait, 30. I'm confused. 31 in December.
Calendar man. Yeah, 31 days.
Call me Calendar Man.
Yeah, that was what Calendar Man's whole thing was. He would say, 30 days had September, April, June, and November.
Hey, everybody, follow Calendar Man on Instagram. He's going to be the next AEW signee.
Follow me at the Jedi Joe here on YouTube as well.
Follow at Jedi Joe on YouTube. You know what? I can speak for experience. Jedi Joe has great videos of him playing Star Wars games and screaming at them on YouTube, which I find very hilarious.
It's mostly like action figure content, like in Target and stuff that.
Don't diminish
But all those old videos
Don't
are still
downplay
there.
it. Don't downplay it, Joe.
Just got to go back to 2020.
Don't downplay it.
Oh, they're all there, me cursing at the games.
So the new era of Here Comes the Lame has started. We moved to Friday, but guess what? We're right back to Thursday. Jedi Joe, a Phillies hat no longer. We're all about the Philadelphia Eagles here all day, every day.
EGLAGLES Eagles.
Have you seen that video of the woman yelling it wrong?
Dude, you should see how many of those exist in Philly besides that one. Like there's one
it's
guy
just
that
for
was
me
like
as a
G
L.
G.
So it's just me as like a mainstream fan. I just saw one of them, but for a Philly fan.
But the black couple, right?
Yes. But you're saying to me that those videos exist in Philly sports lore, like long before I discovered it, long after. All right, hey, tune in next week. I 100% got fired from this paid Thursday gig, so we're back on Thursdays next week. We're gonna bring the music up. We're gonna mute the Jedi Joe.
Thursday at 8.
Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're back to our normally scheduled Billy's time and our normally scheduled Billy's lives. Joe, I just have one more thing to say to you. I want you to know that right now, less than a week from losing the most important sports game of his entire life, Bryce Harper is in Florida playing golf, smashing hookers, not even thinking about your pain. Okay?
No.
Ah.
Oh.
Ah.
No, I gotta check this right now. No.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Boulevard Bullies versus the World is a show that's on Tuesday. This show is Boulevard Bullies. Here Comes the Pain on Thursdays from now on for the rest of your life at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on YouTube. Out of time.